Howdy Banger fans, Blayne Smith welcoming you to a very year-endy video. It's the end of the year. We've reviewed a lot of albums over the year, but we know you guys are maniacs. You love album reviews and you want to hear about more albums. So we headed over to our Patreon campaign and asked our patrons, what are the top 5 albums that we didn't review that you want to hear us talk about? So that's what we're doing here. Big thanks to our Patreon community. We've got a great community over there. We really appreciate everything you guys do for us. And hey, if you're a subscriber, if you're not, 2022, we're cooking up a lot of cool new stuff for you. There'll be a video in January kind of announcing all the new perks that are coming out. But, you know, 2022, the year of Patreon. But hey, because of Patreon, that's it. That's all I gotta say before we get on to content. Isn't that amazing? So these are the top 5 metal albums we didn't review this year as chosen by our Patreon community. Number 5, let's listen to a little Bellacore, Coherence. It came out on Napalm Records, October 29th. Have a listen. So what we have here is some Australian melodic death metal. The building towards the end of Foothold is where the album really started to vibe with me because Bellacore are great at building that mellow death energy, but there's a cool depressive layer over everything, and you know how I feel about depressive layers over things. That really helps the record stand out from the pack because as we know, a lot of mellow death can blend a little together, sound a little, hey, we're singing about Vikings, but that layer adds a real maturity to the genre, which, you know, I clearly is resonating with you guys. When Bellacore want to get me moving, they absolutely can. Towards the middle of Hidden Window and the end of Foothold and all over Valence, both guitars and drums are absolutely nailing it. That being said, what they need is a goddamn editor. Please, guys. First, they tell them change that band logo that looks like a UFC fighter's name tattooed on his shoulder blades. And the second would be, how the hell is the second track on your album a 2-minute interlude? What? That's, I mean, we just started the race and I tripped. What's happening? And we have 2 more instrumental tracks on the album that are 5 minutes a pop. There's 12 minutes of nothing on this album. And I'll give that Sweep of Days is all right, though it could easily be 3 minutes. But Indelible has indelibly marked on my brain that I ain't getting that 5 minutes back, if you know what I'm saying. This extends into songs as well, unfortunately. Valence could have perfectly flowed out of Foothold, but I've got to have 30 seconds of like literally nothing to kick things off, and then you're gonna hit me with a piano 2 minutes in. Come on. Apparently this album is a residential neighborhood because it's got speed bumps all over it. Do not go over 30 kilometers an hour. We're in Canada. And it's not even that I have an issue with the type of thing. The acoustic guitar speed bump towards the end of the track is awesome. Super great. Again, it's just that, editor, please get in there. Boy, it sounds like I hate this album. I don't. It's frequently exceptional, and that's why I'm getting worked up here, because I really feel like I could have vacuum sealed this into a banger with some Edward Scissorhands action. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna say 3 out of 5 skulls that are 30-kilometer-an-hour signs, because apparently that's the speed limit around here. I can't drive 55. Up next, apparently you've been reading my Christmas list. It's Worm Forever Glade. It came out on 20 bucks spin, October 22nd. It does seem like you guys didn't realize that we could have picked albums from the whole year. You got short memories, but it's okay. here is Death Doom out of Florida, and it's also a Metal Monthly pick, so I kind of feel like I already reviewed this, because if it's in Metal Monthly and I'm saying how amazing it is for an extended period of time, that seems like a review to me. But you should head over there and take a look at the Metal Monthly. Hey, yeah, a little plug for my other show. Nice. To talk about it briefly here, though, it is absolutely Blayne-style Death Doom. It's got anger and aggression, but a nice spooky sound and an awesome swamp atmosphere. Really trying to get the fingers going in this episode. They have that great Death Doom guitar tone, which for me is the key to the whole genre. If you have that guitar tone, you can do whatever you want. If you don't nail a great guitar tone like that, get the hell out of here. I don't have anything else to say. I said it all in Metal Monthly, so it's the best thing to come out of Florida. My favorite record of the month. I like it. The synths aren't overused. Perfect synth tone. Rose, swampy vibe. Nice Death Doom guitar tone. High and low vocals. That's a primo choice. This might be the most Blayne release of the year. Very easy, very easy. 4.5 out of 5 skulls that are just Blayne smiling faces, because this is exactly what I want. I'm glad you guys are vibing with it too. Up next, this is absolutely one that should have been included on this list. This was a, tricky thing to not cover. Unto Others, Strength, Roadrunner Records. It came out back in September 24th. What we've got here is some Portland-based gothic rock, and boy, do I feel bad for these dudes. Oof. You might remember they burst onto the scene with Mana, re-reviewed it here. Sarah loved it, I loved it, listened to it a ton. Then they were hit with some trademark nonsense and had to change their name. And they changed their name to Unto Others. Music is tricky because it forms like a bond in your brain that you can't necessarily separate. A song comes on, you think of your childhood. And it's really hard to undo that this band was called Idle Hands, and now they're called Unto Others. And boy, I think that's a really bad band name, and it kind of affects my enjoyment, and is completely beyond my control. I tell you this not to criticize the band, though they probably should have had another brainstorm session about that name, but to really give weight to the positive stuff I'm about to say, because this is an awesome band making awesome music. They were seemingly able to overcome in most people's minds and hearts that this whole nonsense happened with a very strong album. I've talked about my personal distinction between goth and gothic a little bit in the past. Cue the goth shit. And I feel this manages to stay perfectly in that gothic box the whole time, which is why it vibes with me so much. While definitely different, they totally feel like a spiritual successor to Sisters of Mercy. And if that's not the biggest praise a band like this can get, I don't know what else to say. They're heavier to reflect the heaviness of the day compared to when Sisters of Mercy were out. But if you like that, you're gonna love this. And this definitely has even heavier moments than the previous work. When Will God's Work Be Done is way more of a straight right than anything on Mana, and a band that's getting heavier as they get bigger. I don't want to say anything negative to these guys because I don't want to accidentally spook them off this path. Please keep doing this, bands, Jesus. My only criticism I can really say is that the band is kind of a victim of themselves. They are able to write such an amazing banger, and this happened on Mana too, where sometimes I'm just like, wow, that song's so good, and this song's pretty good, so get this song the hell out of here. You feel bad, but sometimes you skip a song. Bye Bye Little Bird. And can we just... There's a song called Little Bird, but the track before it has bird sounds on it. Is that not... we're getting into... Still an absolutely great record that I can 100% give 4 out of 5. Oh, it seems I legally can't use that word anymore, so I'm happy to give them 4 out of 5 craniums? Well, that's not as good. We now move on to our number 2 pick from you, and it's out of Canada. It's Spirit Box, Eternal Blue, came out on Rise Records September 17th. Let's have a listen.
This could all be yours.
So this is Canadian, I don't know, something or other. I mean, I'm surprised that this got number 2. I mean, I guess you didn't know I was gonna have to talk about this. I don't know what to say here. I don't know, I don't feel I'm qualified. It goes dun 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 a little bit, and I don't like that. Courtney LaPlante has a very nice voice, and I enjoy her singing very much. The third song had one of those FEAT period, and then a person's name after it, and I thought, oh, that seems like a song I'm not gonna like, and I did not like that song. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it sounds like I'm listening to the soundtrack to like Kingdom Hearts or something. And it's not just me, because my wife came down when I was reviewing the album and asked if I was listening to Korean Evanescence, and they're from Vancouver. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just gonna give this a very normal 3 out of 5 Jack Skellington skulls and move on to things I'm more qualified to talk about. And I also just want to personally apologize to Spirit Box for everything I just said. And our number 1 pick for the year, hey, look at that, warms the cockles to see. Archspire, Bleed the Future, Season of Mist, October 29th. Have a listen. Yes, the Canadian heroes making some tech death, and oh god, yes, it's absolutely something else I'm not super qualified to talk about, but here we are. So Archspire are known for being very fast. On this record, they are still very fast. They might even be faster. Who can really tell at this speed? And who cares? They're very fast. Despite that, what they do really have, which most bands that do this do not, is rhythm. It's, you know, a thing you can vibe to. It's not just clickety-clack the whole time. It really seems like Archspire has put the thought into going, hey, how do we make a physical connection with people's bodies and get them moving, not just pummeling them in the chest. They've always been conscious of that. They've always done that. That's why they connect with people so much. And yeah, that's why this is number 1, because they're making songs. They do occasionally slow down to give contrast to. The start to Drain of Incarnation is particularly inspired, and it's my favorite track on the album because it has the most variety and texture. The slows help you appreciate the fasts. There's still the ever-present issue with music like this that a lot of the record comes down to at what speed we it's inevitable in the genre, and it's why I don't listen to a ton of stuff like this. But it does seem, like I said again, Archspire knows that it's like a lot of the time, and they really try and find every opportunity they can to give you a reprieve from that, while still also just the record is mostly that. It's a good blend. Special shout out to bassist Jared Smith for frequently putting a little ditty as well to break things up. Can never really say anything bad about the boys. Canadian heroes, 4 out of 5 skulls that are moving way too fast. That's it. That's what we got. That was our top 5. We'll just toss, I'm not doing full reviews for these, but we'll just toss up some great runner-up mentions. Chemists, why did you release an album this late in the year? It's confusing. Obscura, it still sounds like Obscura magically, though I miss Linus. Whitechapel, not touching it. Dark Throne, we kind of reviewed live. Twitch, you'll catch some more Twitch stuff in the new year too. First Fragment, Soen, we're out of time. I gotta go. Bye.